There is so much financial advice on social media, specifically TikTok, that it's hard to know what's actually worth following. Me, personally, I paid off $43,000 worth of debt about 7 years ago, and we used that momentum to build a net worth to multiple hundreds of thousands of dollars, really on the foundation of just having the right money system. So today, let's react to some of the most viral finance TikToks and separate the advice I'd actually follow from the advice that I'd leave behind, because great advice isn't just about being right, it's about being right for your situation. Let's jump right into it.
Car leasing is now 78% of the new cars that leave the lot. And a car lease, when you back out the numbers on it, you have a series of payments. At the end of the payments, you then pay a lump sum to own the car, or you turn the car in. Put those numbers, that stream of payments and a lump sum, into a financial calculator as opposed to the actual MSRP, the sticker price, and back out what the cost is of what's called cost of capital in a lease, and that is your interest rate. On average, it's 14.2% right now. So you borrowed money at 14% to buy your car on payments. And guess what? They don't disclose the interest rate. You know why? Federal Trade Commission disclosure regulations do not apply because it's not considered borrowed money. So they're sidestepping everything and screwing you people. Car leasing is now 78% of the new.
It's so funny. All the videos that go viral seem to be Dave talking about car loans. It's a very, it's a very interesting topic. The thing that I'll just say is it's so interesting today in society where we congratulate people that, go into tens of thousands of dollars of debt to buy the new car, and because it's so fancy, and look at them. And by the way, I have kids, so I understand the idea of wanting and needing a safe vehicle to go from point A to point B. So that's not what I'm saying here, but we put those people up on a pedestal like, wow, congratulations, you just bought a brand new car. And it's frustrating because when my wife and I were paying off the $43,000 worth of debt, it was about a 13-month period, and we said no to doing a lot of things, like with our friends, our family, and people thought we were weird, quite honestly, because we're like, no, we actually just don't want to spend that money today or this weekend or whatever, because we're really focusing on paying off our debt. We are debt-free, and those people are not, the ones that are being put up on the pedestal with the car, and that's fine if that's what they want to do. But for me, getting out of debt was the best thing that I could ever do, because now instead of paying other people our hardworking money, right, we are now paying ourselves, our family, our futures, instead of strangers.
So I want to start showing you guys what I do with my money as soon as it hits my account. So I'm going to show you guys the whole flow. Let's go. I get a payout from my online community every week, and this week's payout was $11,981. And trust me, that money looks really nice when it hits in one spot, but I got to move it around, bro, and organize it. Everybody understands money differently. I understand it by percentage. 35% is my taxes and emergency fund for my business. I use this money to just put it in a savings account, a high yield, just in case something goes wrong or I got to pay taxes. 15% of my money goes to my investment account. I just invest that money in my Charles Schwab account, and the remaining 50% is what I just keep in my business checking account for general operating costs, like paying my team, paying myself, or just subscriptions, anything. All the dollar amounts are here, but if you add up all these numbers, it equals what I made. It's just broken down into 3 pieces. I just put them where they have to go. So hopefully this helps in any which way. I'm trying to be as transparent as possible every time that I make some money. So I'm gonna start doing this every week so you guys can see the full breakdown. And by the way, drink your water, man. You need it.
So obviously, that split's pretty nice. 50%, we'll call it expenses. 35%, taxes and saving, and 15% investing, right? So here's what you would do. First of all, incredible. $12,000 a week. Insane. Here's what you do if you aren't making $12,000 a week. And this is going to be specifically for parents, because what I found is most people like to budget and sort of allocate their money using the 50-30-20 framework, which is 50% of your money should be going towards need items, 30% should be going towards want items, and 20% towards financial goals. The reason why this doesn't work is because when people hear 50-30-20, what do you prioritize? Okay, prioritize the 50, then the 30, and then the 20 is the leftover thing that gets forgotten about. And right, but that's the most important one, the financial goals, the future, your family's future, right? So what I like to do first before having a family was actually like 50-20-30, basically like prioritizing the roof over my head, utilities, all that great stuff, groceries, and then putting money towards all the financial goals. So getting to that 20%. And then anything that's left over is the want, and that's the thing that gets sacrificed if needed, not the financial goals. Now for parents, and what I've found this percentage really works, 50, 25, 15, 10. So 50 is still, the need items, all the important stuff. The 25%, I'm just going to say kids, because my goodness, they are expensive. And when you think about all the things, like when I think about our childcare, we have 2 kids in daycare right now, all their expenses and just, I don't know, the clothes that we need, or they grow out of them so fast, like what the heck is going on? That's like basically a quarter of our pay, right? And then you can mix and match the 15 and the 10. I like the 15% going towards financial goals, and 10% sort of like the other fluffy want items, okay? But you can mix and match those two. You won't, I won't be upset either way. But let me know what you guys think about the 50, 25, 15, 10 to allocate your money, and let's all work towards getting $12,000 a week. What do you think?
In case the world gaslit you, a $700 car payment is not normal. Eating out 5 nights a week is not normal. Upgrading your phone every year is not normal. Hiding purchases from your spouse, not normal.
Definitely
and working your entire life just to enjoy 10 years of retirement is not normal.
Yeah, I can't really, nothing to comment there. That's pretty true. All these things in life just become normal. You look across the street, the people have the nice car, the people with the nice house, the people that go on vacation 9 times a week, the people that go on vacation 9 times a year, and it's just natural human tendency to just start getting closer and closer to that and try to compare yourself and try to do it and try to do all these things. But really, what this creator is talking about is lifestyle creep, and it's a big problem. It's a big problem, no matter how much you make, but specifically as your income grows, though. So for like you higher earners that are watching this, as your income grows, if the system that you have in place for your finances is not set up, what's going to happen is your income's going to grow up, and so do your expenses. They slowly follow. And I'm speaking from personal experience. Many years ago, I basically had a life-changing raise. At the time, it still wasn't a lot of money, but it was it was a lot. I don't know, whatever. And it was gone within a couple months. Like there was no more wiggle room. We were living comfortably at a number, and then I got a pretty good raise, and then there was no extra money, and we had to like really kind of cut back and really talk about how we're going to change these things. So what he's saying here is lifestyle creep. It's real. Let's jump to the next one.
What's the absolute worst way to pay off debt?
The worst way is to just move the debt around thinking you've done something. That's actually the scariest. To go like, well, I did a debt consolidation loan and so I feel better, or like the interest rate's a little lower, whatever it is. What I found is that when you move 7 debts into one big debt, it's actually harder to pay off.
Yeah, George is by far the most handsome person in personal finances. There's no doubt about that. He's totally right here. And I think it's one of those things where it's like, taking out of your left pocket to put in your right pocket. Like you think doing some sort of debt consolidation, like you're keeping busy, like, oh, I'm taking an action. Things are going to be moving. But really at the end of the day, nothing's really happening. And like George was saying, it's a lot harder to pay off a big, fat, chunky debt than a bunch of little ones. On to the next one. No talking on this one. Let's see. This is what happens if you invest $583 a month in a Roth IRA. 2025, $7,000. Oh, okay, so we're going to see the compounding effect of maxing out a Roth IRA. Well, we missed the last part. So now we have to wait for it to circle around again. Let's see what it says. Let's see if I can catch it in time. There we go. Got it. $583 is the new $1.1 million. And yeah, investing. Who's doing it? Let me know down in the comments. Are you guys investing in a Roth IRA? Do you have a 401k? Do you have a separate brokerage account? Yes, because when you dial it in like that, when you just look at those numbers, $583 a month, that's very possible. There's people in my community that go through a process of finding more money in their finances, and they find that plus some. And they're using it towards financial goals, paying off debt, saving money, investing. So this is absolutely possible. Your future is probably already within your finances. Now, at the end of the day, it would help to increase income always. But first, we have to set up the system like I was mentioning a couple videos ago. If we don't set up the system as we increase our income or as we find more income, it doesn't matter. We're not going to be able to put it towards the right places. If you guys like this, I've got another TikTok video somewhere on the screen here. More chaos, more finances. I'll see you there.